guys some pie leftover from Thanksgiving. Let's get it.
Okay. Okay.
Where's the pie?
What? Jasmine?
What? Jasmine, you ate our pie. What the heck?
I think I did.
I don't think my dog ate the entire pie.
He's a fast.
It's not that big of a deal that Jasmine ate her pie because we know how to make more. All we need is the cinnamon, sugar, nutmeg, brown sugar, butter, pie crust, and most importantly, our green apples.
Apples are carbohydrates that contain sucrose, which is made of fructose and glucose. Sucrose, or C12H22O11, is a simple sugar known as table sugar. Fructose, or C5OH, is a simple monosaccharide found in many fruits. And glucose, or C6H12O6, is a sugar monosaccharide that gives energy. Callie?
What she said.
Nerds.
Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. What you want to do first is peel your 2.5 pounds of apples.
Fun fact, guys. Apples were actually brought over in the 1600s by settlers, and that there actually was a Granny Smith who invented the Granny Smith apple, which are the sour apples that we usually use to make pies. And Johnny Appleseed actually started using apples to make hard cider before they started using them in pies.
Alright, so what you want to do after you've peeled your apples is you want to cut the tops and the bottoms off, and then you want to cut it into quarters, and then once you have it in quarters, you want to cut the center out, which is called coring the apple.
Next, what you want to do is cut the apple quarters into thin slices.
The apples in the apple pie are going through a physical change in which nothing really changes but the appearance changes, while this apple is going through a chemical change in which the oxygen hitting upon it is causing it to burn.
First, you pour in 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then you pour 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Then 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And 2 tablespoons of flour. And you mix it all together.
So what you're going to do with the flour, sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg that you mix together, you're going to throw it in with your thinly sliced apples, and then you're going to toss it all together like so, until the mix is completely mixed in.
So individually, there are monomers in the pie, and linked together, they make polymers. For now, we're using puzzle pieces to prove an example. Put the puzzle pieces together, and you make a picture, which will be substituted for the polymer that we're trying to make. In this case, it's a Coke polymer. Coke picture.
Now you just fold in your apple filling.
Okay, so for our apple pie, we're going to have a crumb topping. And to make a crumb topping, you mix together 1/2 of a cup of flour, 1/2 of a cup of firmly packed brown sugar, and then you want to cut in 3 tablespoons of butter, and you're cutting it in 1 tablespoon at a time. And you're going to mix it all together with a whisk. After you mix up your crumb topping, it should look like this, and then you grab a handful of it and sprinkle it over your apple, and you repeat this until the entire pie is covered in the crumb topping.
So your pie should resemble something like this, and then you put it into the oven for 45 minutes.
bottom shelf.
There are two types of bonding. There's covalent bonding and ionic bonding. Covalent bonds are between two nonmetals, while ionic bonds are between a nonmetal and a metal. Apples contain covalent bonding. To explain to you further, let me show you, this book being an electron. Covalent bonding is when we both share it and we're both reading it. Ionic bonding is when I take both books and walk away.
Okay, so once it comes out, your final result should look like this. All yummy and delicious.
So before you eat the pie, you want to make sure and let it cool off for a little while. And